Hey there, folks. It's Adam here going live with Brendan in Atlanta. We are going to talk about the blizzard warning issued by Environment Canada, which is a pretty rare one, but it's definitely one step up from snow squall warning. A lot to do with the winds, of course, because when you have sustained strong wind gusts and all this heavy snow, you mix those two things together and it's not going to be great. So we're hoping everybody stays safe. It's going to be an interesting time. Basically starting this evening and it's going until probably Friday-ish or so. But the worst part of it is going to be tonight into tomorrow. And then we'll have snow squalls after that as well, too. So it's going to be an interesting time. But again, I hope everybody does stay safe with these storms. Let's jump right into the radar here. And then we'll get into the forecast maps and all that kind of stuff. Let me just switch my windows. This is Instant Weather Pro. You can see the Exeter radar right now showing all of this heavy snow you can see here in yellow moving into the areas that are under. So this area I'm going to map out with my mouse here is all blizzard warning, all in here. So from Owen Sound to Kincardine, Hanover, over to Meaford, what else here? Markdale, Flesherton, Durham, all the way down to Blythe and Wingham. That is all, I think I mentioned Kincardine already, but that is all under a blizzard warning from Environment Canada. Let's go through those details here. So, blizzard warning. Hazardous lake affects snow squalls expected tonight through Friday. Blizzard conditions likely late overnight and Thursday morning. Hazards locally heavy snowfall with accumulations of 40 to 80 centimeters through Friday. Westerly winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour, resulting in near zero visibility and blowing snow. Peak snowfall rates of 5 to 10 centimeters per hour. Timing continuing into Friday with the worst blizzard conditions late overnight and Thursday morning. Yes, so it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough for those in the path of these storms. Now, that is just the blizzard warning. We also have snow squall warnings basically edging the entire side of it. We have seen some really interesting model data. We're going to, a little bit later in the live stream, just like the last live stream, I'm going to bring up a few different models. The HER, we're going to bring up the Canadian high resolution model. We're going to go through what kind of solutions they think this is going to bring, and the American model, the HRRR, is bringing some huge totals to basically from Midland to Orillia, somewhere in this corridor. Highway 12. It's going to be maybe 100 centimeters plus, so it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. Some of the models just kind of have it trimming the Orillia area. Some have it completely hitting right into Orillia. So for those in the Orillia region, it's going to be, you're going to get a lot of snow. But the question is if this squall locks in, are you going to see, Gravenhurst numbers? Are you going to see one model? I think Brennan said one model casually put out 140 centimeters or something like that. So the models are typically overdone. That's what we said for Gravenhurst. We said the models are typically overdone. So even though it said 140 centimeters for Gravenhurst, we're like probably less than that. Turned out it was pretty much right bang on. So is that always the case? No, but in some cases it can be. I'm going to jump in the comments here and say hi to everybody. Let's see here. Miss Esri, casual 140 centimeters. Yeah, that's how Brennan worded it. It's just a casual 140. Oof. Sean says Barry snowing now, commuting home. Barry is snowing, I believe. Now, with snow, it's very, very low topped. And what that means is when you look at it with a radar from far away, like if we look at the Exeter radar, it looks like nothing's happening in Barry. But if you look at the King City radar, that's a lot closer, you can see a lot more little precipitation. Nothing too heavy at the moment. I know we did get a little bit of snow. It was snowing there earlier, or snowing here earlier because I'm obviously in Barry. We did get a bit of heavy snow there in the yellow. That was around 5-ish, 6-ish or so. That has tapered off, but there is some snow on the ground. The roads are hopefully not too bad. The fog last night was ridiculous. I was out late and came home around 11 o'clock, 11:30, and I don't know if I've ever seen fog this thick. It was like my regular headlights of the car was just smacking right into it, and it was just so ridiculously thick. Let me know in the comments if you caught any of that fog yesterday. It was pretty wild. So, this is obviously a comment that doesn't make any sense. Someone says Kitchener has 68 meters of snow. So we're just going to go ahead and ban that user. Bye. So yeah, we don't need. We definitely don't need those type of comments. So hopefully you can still watch, but there's going to be no more commenting from you. Let's see here. Yeah, and well, I've got the snow day forecast from Brennan. I've got the forecast map. Let's take a look at the forecast map first. So we'll jump right into that. This is Brennan's latest forecast map, although I have a feeling he might tweak this a bit. We'll see. It looks pretty solid for the locations. I don't know if he wants to tweak the totals at all, depending on some of the model data. But as you can see, basically Midland's in for it. Midland's probably going to be closer to that 100 centimeter level from what we can tell. But yeah, 50 to 100 for Midland, Owen Sound, Wyerton, Collingwood. Obviously, Blue Mountain area is going to be happy about it for skiing. But for the rest of us, unless you're in a snowmobiling or something like that, or some maybe cross country skiing. But yeah, it's gonna be a time, folks. It's gonna be a time. So Bob says, glad I can work remotely. Yeah, that helps a lot. By the way, thank you so much for the super chat coming from NRH. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very kind of you. Let's see here. So not every area is going to be seeing significant snowfalls. You can tell. So let's go through the colors here. So somewhere between 50 and 100 centimeters is possible again for Midland, for Collingwood, for Owen Sound and Wyerton on this particular map. So it's a little more isolated than last time. Last time was a little bit more widespread for the significant areas, but the problem here is going to be the really strong wind gusts that are going to be happening in the north end of southwestern Ontario. So that's going to be a big issue. Brennan said, yeah, I may push the 50 to 100 centimeter into Aurelia. I may introduce a 100 to 150 centimeter zone based on the next model run, but he's skeptical. A zoomed in map might be better. Yeah, that could be helpful. So then we have the next area of pink. So that includes Aurelia. Barrie is right on the edge. If you can see it there, Barrie's just right on the edge. So maybe northeastern Barrie, which is where I live, is in the next level of pink, and that's somewhere between 20 and 50 centimeters. And then you have that little gray area below the legend here, which is shows like, locally could have maybe 75 centimeters in some areas, but probably somewhere between 25 and 50 centimeters for Aurelia. Again, Aurelia may be in the bullseye to get a lot closer to that 50, if not even going into the 100 level. If that snow squall stretches just a little bit further to the east, we'll take a look at that model data. Aurelia could be getting absolutely hammered by this snow squall. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, you have a zoomed in map. What? Why didn't I get that? Why did I do this? Anyways, I'll have to add that. Brennan, you know what? I'll add it to OBS so I can bring it up in a nicer way. So, okay, we'll get to that after. So, and then we have Hanover in the next level. Sorry, Hanover is in the same as Aurelia, so that 25 to 50 centimeter. That includes Tobermory as well, too. And that would include areas just north of Midland. Go Home, I believe, is close to that. Actually, although Go Home might be in that pink. The pink is pink, so 50 to 100. Then we have one level down from that, which is covering, looks like the edge of Kincardine. Kincardin's right on the edge of those two, but that's 15 to 25 centimeters. Areas north of Orangeville. And then Barrie should be in that 15 to 25 centimeters, but right on the edge. This is going to be, these snow squall events are very tricky. The kind of situation where, like the north end of Barrie has like a foot of snow, and the south end of Barrie is like a tropical paradise. This might be one. I mean, there's still going to be snow in the south end of Barrie, but it's one of those situations where all depends on how the snow squalls lock in. It all depends on the wind direction. That is the slightest shift in wind direction, and you could have half of a town get hit and the other half not. So these are really tricky events to forecast. But kudos to Brennan for these brilliant maps he's put together here. Bracebridge is in the 15-25 centimeters, so it doesn't look like Bracebridge is going to be into what they had last time. Thank goodness they don't need anymore. But obviously they're going to get some snow. Excuse me. Huntsville Perry Sound is in the next level down, and that would be 5 to 15 centimeters there in purple. So that includes, let's see here. The zoomed in map would be better as I'm like squinting to see this one. That would include, looks like Orangeville. Yeah, that would include Orangeville, and that would include Goderich as well too. And then down from that, we have like the medium blue color, and that is going to include Sunridge, Britt, Bancroft as well. Actually, Bancroft is in the purple. This is tricky. I need the zoomed in map. Okay, but Kitchener's in there as well. And let's see who else. That's it from the zoomed out map. And then everybody else is covered in the 0 to 2 centimeters. So you might see some snowfall. You might not. It could be a little bit higher than 2 centimeters if, these squalls have some length to them, if they can push a little bit further. But Elizabeth says Gravenhurst. Yeah, Gravenhurst is pretty close to that Bracebridge area. You're on the edge between Bracebridge and Aurelia. So you're probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Gravenhurst is a little bit to the south. Is it to the southwest? I need to zoom in map. Oh, Brendan said holy super chats. Oh my goodness, what's happening here? Okay. This is preposterous. Thank you so much, Sarah. Coming in with a big super chat. Wow. Says, thank you so much for all you've done for the community this year and helping keep us all informed and safe. Wishing Adam and the whole Instant Weather team a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much. You really didn't have to do that. We really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. And Habs316 coming in with the same super chat. Wow. Thank you for everything the team does. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. Wow. Thank you, everyone. That's very kind. So let's see here. Courtney says, hi, Adam. Guelph is getting 2 centimeters of snow. That's nothing. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not nothing. It's obviously something. It's just nothing comparatively to the areas that are going to get obliterated by the snow squall. So let's see here. I'm going to download Brennan's new map that I, for some reason, didn't have downloaded. Why is this such a fuzzy version? I need a better version. Brennan, can you send me, can you email it to me? That would be helpful. If he emails it to me, I'll bring it up. But let's bring up what everybody wants to see, and that is the snow day forecast. We have to clarify that we have zero authority when it comes to canceling buses, school closures, any of that kind of stuff. That is up to the bus companies. That is up to the school boards. That is up to the schools. That is up to the parents. If you decide to keep your kids home, we have no authority. This has nothing to do with us. This is just our best guess. This is our best guess. Last forecast that Brennan did, it verified pretty darn good. He got the image perfect. Thank you. It verified very, very good. So that was pretty bang on. So if I look at I have an 8-year-old who wants to know right away. So I've got the inside scoop. So as soon as Brennan posts some maps in our team chat, my son gets to see it right away. And we're in Simcoe Central, and he's got it in red. So that is 75 to 90% chance. So, and it says the superstition that you need to abide by to hopefully help your chances is pajamas inside out. So this will be his second time for pajamas inside out. He did it for the freezing rain, ended up being a snow day, and he's going to do it again for this particular event. So everybody in pink, 90% or higher, says let it snow. And that goes all the way up to Parry Sound, Trillium, Muskoka. Really? All the way up to Parry Sound? Interesting. I'll let Brandon tell me his logic on that one. But yeah, so Trillium, Muskoka, Simcoe North, Simcoe West, Meaford, Owen Sound, Bruce Peninsula, Southampton, Kincardine, Goderich, Hanover. All of those areas are pretty much, we're not saying it's a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. But we're talking above 90% chance that you're going to see a snow day. And then it drops off into the 50% chance, 50 to 75, flip a coin. Exeter, Stratford, areas north of Guelph, so Dufferin, Simcoe South, Trillium Kawartha, Trillium Halliburton. Those areas are kind of a flip of a coin. It could go either way. Probably depends on, what the roads look like in the morning kind of thing. We'll see. Brennan says, I'll paraphrase what he said, but he said there's a snow squall warning for Parry Sound, and that seems to heavily influence if that particular board cancels. So that's fair. Yeah, if there's a snow squall warning for that area, then especially with recent events, I could see them canceling buses for that. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Let's see here. So Peel North, he's got it in blue, I think, or is that green? It's hard to tell. Let me zoom that in a bit. I'll go full screen so I can tell. Let me just zoom that in a bit. Okay, by the way, if you're watching this on your mobile device, turn it to the side, and then you can have it full screen. It's so much better. Even better than that, we're live on YouTube. If you have a Rogers box, or you've got like Bell, or if you have an Apple TV, or you've got like a Google Chromecast or anything, or even a smart TV, if you can get YouTube on your television, with Rogers, you just press the little microphone and you say YouTube instant weather. Say it nice and clear, three different words. If you say that, it'll pull up our account, and then you can watch it on the TV, and then everything is crystal clear, and you can still have your phone, you still have your iPad, you still have your tablets or your phones or whatever. You still have those devices to share and comment and send stuff out and do whatever you want, and you can just leave the live stream on the TV. It's much better that way. It's a much better experience than taking up your phone with the live stream, and then you're like, you have to keep going out of the live stream, coming back into it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So anywhere outside of that, your chances are relatively slim. If you're in the green, Brennan refers to it as ho-ho no. So 5 to 10% chance, probably not. I heard a lot of folks talking about Eastern Ontario, saying that getting a lot of rain and then the temperature is going to drop. So maybe there's potential for some kind of icy road conditions, possibly. So that may increase your chances out east, possibly. I'm not sure. But a lot of folks are mentioning that too. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But if you're in blue, you're 10 to 25%. And if you're in green, you're 5 to 10%. And if you're in gray, rarely does Brandon put what gray means on the map. I don't know why. It's the thing with Brandon. He just won't do it. Just won't do it, no matter how many times I ask. But it says, do your homework if you're in gray. He actually does put what gray means on the bus cancellation map, just never on the forecast map. I don't know. Anyways, this is how it goes. This is what Brennan does. He likes when people ask him what gray means. I think he likes that. He'll say he doesn't, but I'm pretty sure he does. Oh, we have a new YouTube subscriber. Thank you so much, Sue. She has become a YouTube member. We appreciate that. I say subscriber. They use different terms on YouTube. On YouTube, it's a YouTube member. So she's become a member of the Instant Weather community on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yes. So yeah, if you want to look at this map in a little bit more detail, if you're on our Facebook page, we have Ontario Storm Watch on Facebook, or Instant Weather Ontario. Or if you're on Twitter X, you can search up Instant Weather Ontario, and you'll see the forecast. Click the link, it'll go to our website, and then you can click on the map itself and zoom it in, so you can get into more detail with that as well too. So I wanted to pull up, I think, this, which is Environment Canada issued their latest forecast. They've gone to what they refer to as a high risk, quote unquote. Those are the orange areas. Now, not a lot of labels here, but these are the orange areas for them. Now, of course, they've already got the blizzard warning out. They've already got the snow squall warnings out, but this is a little bit more of a slightly more detailed map because it's kind of custom areas. And as you can see, they've got that orange area from Midland going into Aurelia, and they've got locally 50 centimeters there. Although, and I believe, if I double check in the background here, I believe, in the snow squall warning for Aurelia, they talk about 40 to 80 centimeters. So they're just kind of putting a number out here. They say 50, but if 40 to 80. So it is possible that the system is going to overperform, and we're going to have some pretty high totals. For Owen Sound there, it looks like from Kincardine to Owen Sound, they've got locally 50 for areas south of that. So Goderich up a little bit further to the east, they've got locally 30. And then for the whole yellow area, locally 30 as well, which is interesting. So for the orange area, it's locally 30. And then for the whole yellow area, it's locally 30. Anyways. By local, I think they mean like it's going to be isolated. Not everybody in that yellow area is going to get 30 centimeters of snow. But, wherever the snow squalls lock in, those areas are going to get probably 30 or maybe more. So, yeah, so that's the latest forecast for them. That is the Wednesday. I thought it was the Thursday map or the Wednesday map. I got to double check. I can do that right now because I can zoom it out. So let's see. I'm just going to move it over. That's the Thursday map. Okay. So for Thursday, that's the map they have for that. And if I switch over to the next one, this would be for Friday. So that's the Friday map. You can see squalls are still continuing through those same areas. I see. So they've got 50 for Thursday, and they've got, in the yellow area, they got 20 for Friday. So yeah, still going from Midland to Aurelia, an extra 20. You put the 20 with the 50 and 70-ish. That sounds pretty close to what they've got in their warning. And then they've got the Bruce Peninsula in 20 on Friday, and everybody else in gray 10. So squalls are going to continue into Friday. It's going to be multi-day event again, like we have. One day these lakes might freeze over, and then we'll have less of the snow squall machine, but maybe they won't. I don't know. They were quite warm to start the season, so we'll see what happens. But if they stay unfrozen, the more they stay unfrozen, the more the snow squalls are going to hit us. So we'll see what happens with that. Yes. Oh, and I did want to show the blizzard warning in a little bit more detail. This is actually a map Environment Canada put out. They have some nice clean labels on here. So you can see the blizzard warning includes Owen Sound, Chatsworth, Meaford, Markdale, Durham, Walkerton, Mildmay, Chesley. I think I used to call it Chelsea for some reason on live streams because I read it too fast. But Chesley, Port Elgin, Southampton, Kincardine, Point Clark, Lucknow, Port Albert, Blythe, Wingham, and Mildmay, Walkerton, Durham. I think I said some of those. Pretty sure. But anyways, yeah. So those are the areas. It looks like Singhampton's right on the edge of it. Dundalk is in there as well too. Mount Forest seems to be not in there, but just because of these are the kind of like the county-based alert areas. This is going to change though for storm season. This upcoming storm season, so for spring and for summer, Environment Canada has mentioned that they're going to be putting out storm-based warnings. Crossing our fingers, it's this season. Sometimes things get pushed back. It might be next season, but crossing our fingers that come this spring, we should have storm-based like tornado warnings. So not just a tornado warning that's like a county, so not like Collingwood to Barrie, this giant big box with a tiny, tiny little tornado. It'll just be like focused on the tornado and kind of like a triangle polygon around that. Cross your fingers. That's going to be a huge, huge improvement. I think it's going to be a massive improvement. So I am stoked to see that. That would be fantastic. So, official Mike J coming in as a new YouTube member. Thank you so much. We appreciate you joining the community here. Thank you kindly. Justine says gray means nada. Yeah, that's on our forecast maps. That's the case. Oh, Jack coming in. Member for 3 months. I miss summer already. We just had it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Tammy G says 180 likes and 1900 in the chat, please, so others can be aware of this great channel. I think she's asking folks to, if you could like this live stream, the more people that click the like button on this live stream, then the YouTube algorithm says, oh, people like this live stream, and then they start promoting it to more people, and it's like this. Anyways, it's the system that happens. So if you can help us with that, we'd appreciate it. If you could hit the like button on our live streams, if you could share it on Facebook or on Twitter or on Blue Sky or on wherever, that would be also very, very helpful. We'd appreciate that. Chris says, love this live stream. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Jack says, good reminder. Click the like. Thank you so much. Sue says, done. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So let's jump to models. I want to go through some of the model data. We have the 18Z runs, which is the afternoon runs, but we don't have the evening runs yet. I don't think they're available just yet. But I do want to bring up that zoomed map from Brennan. So I should probably do that first. I think I can do that first. So let me do that right now. I'm going to go studio mode. Give me 1 sec. I will bring up that map from Brennan. He gave me the direct link. What a nice guy. Perfect. Oh, this is way better. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't add this to it. I must have not scrolled down your article, Brennan. I'm sorry. I'm one of them. One of them who opens up the article, looked at the forecast map, saved it, and then I forgot to scroll down. I didn't realize you had a zoomed in version. Okay. Let me do that right here. I should be able to. So if I go back to our forecast and I click on the image, there we go. I should be able to get the latest. Let's see here. Where did I save it? That's a good question. Where did I save it? Save image as. Okay, I thought I put it in the right spot. Okay. All right, give me 1 second and I'll put up the zoomed map on because it's so much better. It should be drastically better. There we go. I got it. Oh, sweet. Okay, that's much better. All right, I will transition that. Transition. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now that is a much more zoomed in map. So where was I? Worst hit area is going to be Midland. Wasaga is right on the edge. So you're right on the edge of that 50 centimeter plus, 50 to 100 centimeter, and locally maybe 125, as you can see on the legend below me. Um, and so we're talking Collingwood, Meaford, Flesherton, Chatsworth, Owen Sound, Wyerton. Those are going to be the heaviest, the highest snowfall totals that we're expecting for this particular event. In pink there. And then we go one level down, which is 25 to 50 centimeters. I love that there's the labels on the map. It's great, Brennan. 25 to 50 is going to be Tobermory, Lion's Head, Port Elgin. Kincardine is actually just outside of that, just barely outside of it. Hanover, Wasaga, Aurelia. But again, Brenna's talking about he might stretch that pink that's around Midland. He might stretch that just a little bit further out, so it's just kind of right on the edge of Aurelia. Because if it just pushes just a little bit stronger to the east, then Aurelia could be seeing those high totals of 50 plus, maybe up to 100, maybe more. So we'll see how that does play out. But yeah, so Gravenhurst is in that 25 to 50 centimeters. So you're right. I see. So it is southwest of Bracebridge. That's what I thought. So yeah, Gravenhurst is right on the edge there, 25 to 50 centimeters. So crossing our fingers for Gravenhurst that it's more towards the 25 than the 50, just because you've had enough. And Beaverton is in there as well too. What else is in there? Let me see. So I said Hanover already. Okay. And then one level down from that, which is 15 to 25 centimeters, we're talking about Point Clark, Goderich, Clinton, Mitchell, Arthur is in there. Angus is right. Sorry, I was going, my bad. I went 2 levels down. 15 to 25 is going to be Wingham, Mildmay, Minto, Kincardine, Shelburne, Angus, Barrie, Lindsay, Fenland Falls, Coboconk, and Port Carling, and Bracebridge. So that we have that in that 15 to 25, maybe locally up to 35 centimeters. And then one level down from that is 5 to 15 centimeters. And that was Point Clark, Goderich, Clinton, Mitchell, Arthur, Orangeville, Keswick, Port Perry, maybe Peterborough, but if I move my head slightly, Peterborough is actually just outside of it. Apsley, that's how you pronounce it, Apsley, Halliburton, Fort Fort Irwin, Bancroft, Huntsville, Kearney, Berks Falls, Sprucedale, Rosso, Perry Sound, and I believe Britt would be in that as well too. Yes. Yeah, and then outside of that, we get into the blue, so you're like 2 to 5 centimeters or 0 to 2 centimeters ish. So it's a pretty isolated event, kind of just east of the north side of Huron and just east of Georgian Bay. Pretty isolated, pretty classic snow belt. We'll see. Atlanta says, I hope we don't end up getting that much snow here. I see why. Interesting. Let's paraphrase that too. But you might. We'll see. James coming in and saying, I would love it for Midland to get 100 to 125 centimeters. It is quite possible. When I go run through these forecast models with you, it's looking pretty grumpy. So we'll see. By the way, if you've noticed that we're posting every time we post an Environment Canada warning, we're like notifying twice and we're posting twice. We had to make these changes because Environment Canada changed their structures of their whole warning system, so we had to make a bunch of changes to it, and that was a glitch that happened. But I just heard from our dev team that the issue has been found and the fix is deployed. So we should starting right now. We should stop sending dual notifications and posting twice of every alert. So thumbs up for that. Yay, dev team. Hooray. Speaking of which, Brennan brought it up to me, and I've noticed this as well, too. We've had such an influx of new users to our free app, Instant Weather. By the way, if you do not have our free app, Instant Weather, you can download it at instantweatherapp.com. It is free. Go download it. It's awesome. But because we've had such an influx, I'll leave that link up actually on the screen for a sec. We've had such an influx of new users that it's actually slowed down our alerts. We used to have by far the fastest alerts of any app. And now we're a little bit slower because, especially when there's a huge, like if there's like a province-wide special weather statement or something like that, all of Ontario, it takes several minutes for it to go out. So we've had this plan to speed up the notifications for a while, but now it's basically knock down our door and say, we're called instant weather. We should have the fastest alerts. We can have the fastest alerts. It just obviously got slower and slower over time with too many folks. But so what we have a plan and we know how to scale it. So it's going to be pretty wild when we get a new alert that comes in. We'll calculate exactly how many people should be notified, and we're going to spin up potentially hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny little servers so that we can deliver that entire notification extremely quickly. So that's the next thing the dev team's working on. It's pretty exciting. So we're going to be testing it over the next week or so. Hopefully that doesn't cause any bugs. These things can happen, so we'll work through it. But I think it's an important thing. It's better to do it now too, instead of during tornado season. We want to do it in the winter. The winter is a much better time to test out these kind of changes to our notification system. So, we're going to get back to being instant weather, where we have the fastest notification at no matter how many people download our app, and no matter how big the alert regions are. It's going to be like instant. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. That's pretty exciting stuff. So, go dev team. Let's see here. Oh, Monisa coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much for upgraded, scaled alert infrastructure. Thank you so much. You're already donating to the alert upgrades that we're about to tackle. I really appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. We want to make things as fast as possible. We want to make things as absolutely fast as possible, especially for stuff like tornado warnings, but for anything. Severe thunderstorm watch comes out, we want to have it to your phone within a couple seconds. So that's the idea. We're going to scale up to thousands of servers and then scale right down. So it's going to be pretty cool. Anyways, so that is the plan. But let me go. I want to jump into the forecast models before we cut off the live stream here. How long have we been live for? 40 minutes? It's not bad. But I want to jump into the models. So let's go actually. So this is the data that, Brennan and I and Alana and everybody in the team, this is the data that we look at before we create maps like this. So these maps are created as kind of a hybrid of all the different model data that we look at. So I'm going to jump into this model data here. This is at pivotalweather.com. They have some really great models if you're interested and you want to dive into model land. But we're going to look at a few different things. So this is the American model. Hold on a second. I'm just going to grab my water here. It's so far away. Come back. There we go. Uh-oh. Somebody said, somebody stop being inappropriate. Who's being inappropriate? Somebody being inappropriate? Oh, I see that. Yeah, you're definitely getting booted. Okay. Actually, I'll put them in a timeout. Okay, you're getting a timeout there. If you say stuff like that again, then you're going to get booted. Thank you, Smith. Appreciate it. That's right. My sister-in-law put my name on my water bottle. Let's see here. Da-da. Oh. And there's my son on my YouTube account saying dada. He just called me, and now the only way he can communicate with me is by getting on my YouTube account and communicating with me. Hi, Emmett. How are you, sir? Kenya, I'm a little bit busy there, sweetie. Actually, you're gonna get banned, so goodbye. Yeah, I've told him if he keeps jumping on there, he's gonna get banned. No, it's definitely my son. Everybody's like, "Oh, somebody's impersonating you." I'm like, "No, it's my son." Stadium Property Stars coming in again with a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You've been very consistent with that. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. It's very, very nice of you. So Justin says, "LOL, you banned your son." Yeah, I told him if he goes on, he's getting banned. So not supposed to go into the comments, honey. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these models. So this is the HRRR. So this is the rapidly refreshing high resolution model from the US, one of many models we check. There's two different ways to look at snowfall. One is through a method called Kuchera, and that is, I won't get too technical, but it's using variable snowfall rates, variable ratios of mixing. Anyways, it usually has a higher total. So we look at the 10-to-1, and then we look, which is like a set ratio, and then we look at the Kuchera, which is a mix. So now my son is outside the door of my little studio here, yelling at me. Okay. No, this is what happens. This is called live streaming from home. Okay. So let me just show you the. Hold on one second. Let me just address. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's take a look at Kuchera. So let me just swipe this across here, and so this is. Let's see what the timing is here. So this is tonight at about 8 o'clock, and then if I keep scrolling, I can hear myself on his iPad on the live stream. So if I keep scrolling, um, you can see all the way till this is Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and this is all the way until Friday evening. So, and not even the end of it too, because you can see it's still falling. So the model will go even further than that. One second here. Um, yes, I know it's delayed, sweetie. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Okay. I called in reinforcements. Okay, so it's always going to be delayed, honey. There's a delay on live streams. That's how things work. Okay, so here is the I can hear mom coming. Uh-oh, Emmett. Mom's on her way. So, good luck with that. Okay, so there's a snowfall from Kuchera. So let me go in here and see the highest totals. So we have 35 inches east of Collingwood, south of Midland. I don't know if that's Wasaga. I think Wasaga Beach is here, but south of Midland, we're talking about 35 inches. If I look at my little graph up here, 35 inches is a little bit less than 90 centimeters. So that is some pretty high totals right there in that swath. Now, if I go over to Aurelia is in the 14 inches, so not as bad with this particular model run. We're talking maybe somewhere above 30 centimeters, maybe 35-ish, somewhere in there. I have a little graph on my wall that I check because a lot of these models are in Imperial. So, and then if we come down here, so right to the edge of Collingwood is 20 inches, and that is, somewhere north of 45 centimeters, so maybe 48, 49 centimeters or so. There's a couple of local maximums here. Up here in kind of the Meaford area, 36 inches, 91.4 centimeters. Wow. And then if we go up to, if we go up to the Bruce Peninsula, that's the highest I've seen so far is a 41 inch, which is a little less than 106 centimeters. So maybe 104-ish, 104 centimeters or so. So the Bruce Peninsula is really going to be into it for snowfall totals. It's going to be wild. Again, this is one model run from one model. So you can't take this, you have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. It's going to be something like this, but depending on the winds, it'll slightly shift this way, that way. It's going to be pretty interesting. So if I go over here, just northwest of Hanover, talking about 25 inches. And again, the models aren't perfect. They're typically a little over the top. So let me show you in comparison. So here's the same model with a slightly different algorithm with the 10-to-1 ratio. And you can see it's quite different. You only have 21 inches here, east of Collingwood, south of Midland. Only 21 inches, still 53.3 centimeters. So a much less than we're seeing on the other version. So one has a variable ratio. This one has a fixed ratio. What does that mean? And typically, it's somewhere between the two. Usually, the fixed ratio might be a little bit on the low end, and the variable ratio might be a little bit on the high end. So maybe somewhere in between those two totals. Still seeing a huge maximum up here of 25 inches up in the Bruce Peninsula, and that is still north of 60. So, yeah, again, the one model run, it changes every model run. This model runs every single hour, and this changes every hour. So just with one model run and the two different types of ratios. I do want to show you one thing, though, is the wind gusts. Oh, boy. So here is Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then let's take a look at, whoa, that's when it really gets windy. So Thursday morning, the winds are going to be wild. You have all that snowfall, and then you've got all these strong winds. 53 miles per hour. What is that again? That's pretty close to 53 is getting up there. It's 80. 53 is about 85-ish, 84, 83-ish, just on the little graph I see. Yeah, so 80-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. And I mean, across most of the region, the winds are going to be quite strong. And those winds are going to be what's driving these snow squalls as well, too. But winds are going to be coming in strong in southwestern Ontario early Thursday morning. And wow, they're going to get pretty darn strong. Up here, east of Aurelia, 54, 56 miles per hour. That's borderline severe. We're getting close to the severe threshold. 90 kilometers an hour would be something that could like potentially bring down trees. So we're getting some pretty hefty gusts here. And that is on the American model. It's a little bit less than the Canadian model, actually. But again, that can change. That can change all the time. But on a side note, you can't see it on this model, but over here in Maine, they're going to be at 67 miles per hour. That's a little off topic, but oh my goodness. Those are going to be some pretty big winds for the East Coast. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so we've got a page for that, though. We have Instant Weather New Brunswick. We've got Instant Weather Nova Scotia. We've got Instant Weather Prince Edward Island. We have Instant Weather Newfoundland. And Alana does a lot of the forecasting out east. We appreciate that, Alana. So if you do know anybody in those provinces, let them know that we have a page for every province. We have from BC to Alberta to Saskatchewan to Manitoba. Before we're done here, I'll bring up the wind chill map that Alana has created for Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
boy.
here in the background working on for overnight tonight right now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you, Alana. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be cold. What was it? I think the Environment Canada map said the wind chills could reach minus 45 there.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
cold.
seeing stuff without wind chill minus 35. So yeah,
Actual air temperature of minus 35.
Chilly.
They're having so much fun.
And then that air moves our way and over the open lakes. It's gonna have some fun.
Yes, we will. I think Brennan said by the weekend, Brennan, you said something like minus 17 or something like that in parts of southern Ontario. We're gonna get into some actual cold. We're dropping down here. Oh boy. James says, is there a link to see this map? So all of this data is from pivotalweather.com. So if you go to pivotalweather.com, you can see all these different free forecast models. You can see a whole bunch of different ones. So we love their stuff. We subscribe to them as well, too. You can subscribe and see a bunch more data. Like the wind gust stuff, a lot of the models don't have it unless you subscribe. But yeah, pivotalweather.com is fantastic. We love their stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so those are the wind gusts with that. So you combine all that snowfall with the wind gusts. I'm going to take a look. Here's the Canadian model for comparison. So let's take a look. So this is Kuchera again. So this is usually a little bit over the top, but we'll see what happens. This goes all the way to Friday afternoon. A little bit different here. A little bit higher with the snowfall totals, a little bit lower with the winds. 52 inches southeast of Midland. I don't even have that on my graph. My graph goes up to 48 inches. So anybody want to do that math? 52 inches, whatever. I mean, again, you can't take the model for face value. But the fact that it shows 52 inches, I mean, during the Gravenhurst situation, the model was bang on. Kuchera model was bang on. Is that going to be the case in this situation? I don't know. It doesn't always end up like that. Oh, here's a 55 right up by Midland. Actually, it's right on Midland. 55 inches. I don't even have that. What's 55 inches? Someone? Oh boy, that's a Canadian model. Canadian model can sometimes be quite accurate with these things, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But 50, was that a 57? I just saw a 57. What's 57? Anybody? Someone help me out with 57. 52 is almost 5 feet, says Phoenix from Canada. What's 57 inches? Tim Loft, that's 4'7". What's up, Tim? How you doing, brother? I haven't seen Tim in a long time. I missed you, Tim. It's been a while. We used to work together. Spend 11-hour days together. I'd annoy the crap out of him and everybody on the team. It was fun. Let's see here. Let's see. So what else we have here? So over here we have just east of Owen Sound at 15 inches, 32 inches east of that, somewhere between Owen Sound and Collingwood, talking like 35 inches. Oof, what is that? Like above 80 centimeters. And again, this is just one particular model, and this is using the Kuchera method. So I'll show you the 10-to-1. It's going to be different. 140 centimeters. Oh boy. Oh, that's 144. 144 is 57. Can't say it's not going to happen. I mean, we just saw what happened in Gravenhurst. It was ridiculous. Up here in Bruce Peninsula, I see a 41, which is closer to 100 centimeters. So, yeah, the Bruce Peninsula looks like it's going to get hit pretty hard. But you can see this, like, just a nice, clean track. If I turn off these labels for a second, you can really see that, like, snow squall is going to set up real strong right here, and there's going to be one setting up real strong right there. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's Kuchera. So that's usually that's like the worst case scenario. Typically, Kuchera is not always, but most of the time. Let's go to the 10-to-1 version. Same model, same forecast model, and this is the 10-to-1. And so if we go up to Midland, it's still showing. Let's see what the maximum here is. Still showing 35 inches, even at 10-to-1, which is approaching 90 centimeters. Oh boy. Oh boy. Down here between Owen Sound and Collingwood, you've got, excuse me, the shepherd's pie is coming back up here. So 23 inches potentially. And then if we go over to Aurelia, see Aurelia's right on the edge of, it shows Aurelia at 11 inches. And I think the previous version showed Aurelia at, let's see here. Where is it? Right here. Showed Aurelia at 18 inches. So that's possible, but if this orange just pushes slightly to the east, then Aurelia is in it, like 40 inches. Oh boy. Barrie might get lucky here. On this model, Barrie's at 2 inches. Northeastern Barrie is at a foot. But, basically Oro's at a foot, and Barrie itself might only be at the 2-inch mark. We'll see. Crossing our fingers, we'll see. It all depends on these models. It all depends on not the models, all depends on the wind gusts. And that's kind of the same deal here. But you can see a lot of the area, going to see some snow, some flurries, not too much. But if you're southeast of east and southeast of Georgian Bay, and if you are east or southeast of parts of Lake Huron here, you are in it. It's going to be nasty. Now, again, we have those really strong winds. Let's go take a look at the last model thing I wanted to show you was the Canadian model, the Canadian wind gusts. Still quite strong, not as strong as the American model. 43 mile per hour, 45 mile per hour. So, talking about 70 plus ish. Still potential blizzard conditions. Again, you've got all this snow and you've got wind gusts that strong blowing it around. It is going to be a very, very nasty tomorrow morning. I keep saying Thursday morning, but tomorrow morning, travel is going to be awful for a lot of areas up here. And again, sometimes these squalls can push some of their snow a little bit further east. So some of that might trek down maybe towards the GTA. We'll see. If we go back to the model here, not a lot, but when they lock in, it could be interesting. But yeah, the GTA actually looks pretty empty, so that's good. So yeah, but basically, Barrie and north, and basically west and north of Barrie, and potentially Barrie as well too. You're looking at absolutely brutal conditions for travel tomorrow morning. It's going to be awful. Hence why there is a blizzard warning up here, because that's going to probably be the strongest winds, especially because there's areas up here that are elevated with the escarpment and all of that as well. So those elevated areas up here, winds are probably even stronger. It's going to be nasty. Linzer17 says, can you check Owen Sound? Sure. If I check the Canadian model in Owen Sound, 15 inches, but right on the edge of like 30 inches. So somewhere between those two. If you're southeast of Owen Sound, you're going to be in it. But right now it has Owen Sound at like 16, somewhere between 16 and 26-ish. Again, this is one model. This is one model using one type of algorithm. We have to take all of this into account. We look at different models. We look at many, many, many different models and all of these different algorithms and try to put that all into some sort of what we call an ensemble, or what is referred to as an ensemble. And that ensemble is called Brennan's brain. So he squishes all of that in there. He pushes it in both ears, and then a forecast map pops out, and then that's what we have here. And so, so this is what comes out. You take all those models, you squeeze it all into Brennan's head, and then he goes into Adobe Photoshop, and boom, this is what we get. So, and by the way, I don't know what it is about his forecast maps, but I feel like they look delicious. Like I just want to eat this map. Like this map, I feel like it would actually taste good. It's probably very sugary, but it just looks delicious. Like I always do this, but can we give a round of applause again to Brendan for making these forecast maps look so much better than I ever did. I mean, they're just unbelievable. So Ms. Esri says, I love the choice of colors. I know. Can we use these colors for the summertime? I don't know if like we should have like a tornado forecast map that looks like this, but I just love the way this looks. Some cotton candy, says Stormy. That's right. That's right. Bree says, LOL, Brendan's the best. That's right, Bree. Hi, Bree. How are you? Tracy says, yay, Brendan. Lots of claps. I mean, it just looks so darn good. Anyways, yeah. B is killing it with these maps. Excellent UX. Yeah, for sure. Brendan used to say stuff like he wasn't that good with colors, but I beg to differ. Oh, I still have the free app download link up on the screen. So, okay, I'm just going to jump into the comments here. Kara says, love the colors. I agree. They're just fantastic. I want to use them for summer, but maybe it's best we save them for the winter. It seems more like a frozen, wintry type map, but I don't know. I kind of want to use them for summer maps because they're just so darn good. Bree says, hope you're all doing great. We are, Bree. Hope you as well. Liv says, these forecast maps are great. I think the one thing you could do is a 15 to 25 plus and a 5 to 15 plus, as some regions may vary. Yeah, possibly. We could get a little bit more detailed there. There is we might take off the 150 to 200 centimeter off the map and add one more to the left, maybe. It's possible. It's possible. Actually, I just realized when looking at the legend that the ones on the left are like skinny, and then as you get to the 50 to 100, they get wider. So they get wider and wider as they go to the right, which is actually aesthetically pleasing. But anyways. Oh, Tej says, what's the Canadian model called? It's the one I'm using is the HRDPS. Yes, the HRDPS is the 2.5 kilometer resolution Canadian model. And then there's the HRRR, which is the 3 kilometer American model. There's a bunch of different they call them CAMs. I think it's convection allowing models. Yeah, but Environmental says, would love to walk around in Brendan's brain for a while. I'm sure he'll have a choice comment for that.
Trust me, you really don't.
There you go. Alana did it for him. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Oh, let's see here. Pilot says, could this map change overnight? We're getting pretty close to the event. I think it's probably going to remain like this. The only thing I think Brendan talked about maybe changing is stretching the Midland Washago area, stretching it a little bit closer to Aurelia, maybe putting Aurelia right on the edge of that. Aurelia is going to get a lot of snow, but it may be a significant amount, but it could be less. We'll see. So Aurelia is right on the edge of, are we going to see that significant? But I mean, Midland, I don't think there's any doubt. Every model I've looked at, Midland looks like Midland is like the bullseye of this event for snowfall totals from what we can see. Midland's not in the blizzard warning, but the snowfall is going to be exceptional for that area. So yes. So change overnight, maybe a little bit, but probably not. So let's see here. Answer a couple questions before I go. Mary says, please, is driving from Barrie to Highway 11 Gravenhurst up to North Bay safe? Third time asking the question. Thank you. When? Like right now or tomorrow? Tomorrow's going to be nasty. But right now, maybe? I'll look for your follow-up there, Mary. On Friday. That's hard to say. I think there's still going to be quite a bit of snow squalls happening at that point in time. I would be double-checking the 511 road conditions. Also, too, our reporting group has now superseded our largest page. I knew this was going to happen. We started a reporting group called Ontario Storm Reports on Facebook. We started it, 2 years ago? Maybe? Was it 2 years ago? Maybe 3? I think it was 2. Anyways, We started about 2 or 3 years ago, and it has grown exponentially, and it already has passed 400,000 community members now. So it is now by far our largest. Out of all the pages we have pages for every state, we have pages for every province. We've got multiple, we have like Instant Weather Ontario, and we also have Ontario Storm Watch. But Ontario Storm Reports is a group, which is different from a page. It means anybody can post. Over 400,000 community members on that page now. So huge kudos to our moderation team. Has to somehow deal with that. It is, and I've been helping out, and it is not easy. It is not easy at all. Somehow have to deal with the amount of spam. You have no idea how much spam we have to remove. Every morning I wake up, I grab my phone, I hit refresh, and there's like 10 reported posts. There's like 20, some of those mornings there was like 70 posts that need to be approved. And then there was like 250 joining the group. I have to review all these people that join the group by hand. Patricia's amazing at doing it. Lindsay, Brennan, and Lana have chipped in. I'm going to miss people. Teresa, Liam. So many wonderful people on the team have chipped in to try to tackle this. I think even today wasn't even that big of a day, but I think I'm pretty sure Patricia said like 2,500 people joined that group today. On some of the big, I think over the Gravenhurst event, I'm pretty sure we gained at least 30,000, 50,000 people. It was unbelievable. It was a massive amount. But anyways, thank you so much for joining that group. I would say if you're trying to figure out road conditions, so we do allow people to post road conditions as a new post on the page. For a while we experimented with allowing people to ask, but it would be like, I'm driving from Barrie to Gravenhurst. What are the road conditions? And then those started filling up the group. So we decided instead of that, how about we post what we know? So people, if you've driven from Barrie to Gravenhurst on Friday morning and you know the conditions, you don't even have to post a picture. If you know a road condition, just make a post. We don't want people like trying to take a picture, of that kind of stuff. If you're at home, we kind of expect you to like look out the window and take a picture and post that as part of your report. So we typically do prefer a video or a photo for a weather report. But for a road condition, obviously we don't want you posting the report while you're driving. But, if you just drove from somewhere to somewhere and the conditions were terrible and you pull over safely and then post just a text that says, roads from A to B are brutal and here's the time and here's the locations kind of thing. Like as long as you put those details on it and it's a text post, we allow that. So we think that's quite helpful in the winter. It's really pretty important. Like the thing that really matters in winter are road conditions for a lot of folks. So yeah. So if you know road conditions, please post them on Ontario Storm Reports. 400,000 community members. Sorry, Patricia just said it was 70,000 people joined that group from the big event, from the Gravenhurst event. 70,000 people joined our group. So we were at 330,000 community members, and a few days later, we were at 400,000 community members. So, wow. I think that's the largest growth we've ever had. And I just checked. And I remember I don't know if you saw, I posted a few days ago where I said, like Ontario Storm Watch reached 38 million people in like 28 days. That number is now 50 million. It was like 49. In 28 days, that one page, we have 120 social media pages. That one single page reached 50 million people. So kudos to this wonderful community for liking and sharing and even just like word of mouth telling people, hey, have you checked out Ontario Stormwatch? Have you checked out Instant Weather Ontario? Your word of mouth, you're telling your friends, you're sharing our updates. All of that stuff helps us get the word out more and more. And then the more we do that, especially through the winter, then we come into tornado season, which could be interesting this year because we're in a La Nina season and we're expecting above average precipitation and above average temperatures, through the tornado season from May to August, maybe even to September. So we're expecting a pretty busy storm season. So the more we can build up the community and get the awareness going when those things happen, like a dangerous tornado, we can get out the word a lot faster. So we sincerely appreciate all of your help. It's been a journey. We've been at this since 2013. How many years is that? Like 11? We've been at this for 11 years. And it's been a journey. So, but there's no slowing down. We're not easing up on the gas pedal. We're pushing forward on our mission to raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather across Ontario, across Canada, across the U.S. as well too. And we keep expanding our reach in our communities and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate it. I hope everybody stays safe with this event. It's going to be another interesting time. We will be posting road closures. If you know about road closures, if you drive up to a road and it's closed and it doesn't even say it on the 511 map, or you haven't even seen anything posted from like the OPP or whatever, if you know about road closures, let us know so we can have that information out to everybody first. We're instant weather. We want things out to people fast. So dev team is working on the faster push notifications for the app. Everything is continuing to improve and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much, everybody. We really appreciate it. Jackie says, what time in the early morning? I work at 5 a.m. It's already starting tonight, and it's going to be brutal in the morning. So tomorrow in Midland. I mean, other places in Midland, but tomorrow in Midland is not going to be a great time. So please stay safe. Breezy says, do you think that light pink is going to reach Wasaga? Maybe. That's just a generalized area. You're right on the edge of it. So maybe. Wasaga could be, it's going to be probably pretty brutal in Wasaga. Regardless of that, if you get the highest totals, it's still going to be pretty brutal. With all the strong winds and all that snow squall, it's not going to be very nice. Lisa says, thank you to the Instant Weather team for all you do. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Amanda says, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it, everyone. I'm going to go put my little guy to bed. Thank you for sharing our page. Thank you for being part of our community. We really appreciate it. Please be safe with this blizzard and these snow squalls and these high winds. Prepare for power outages. Charge up your phones. Some people fill their bathtub with water so they can still flush their toilet. These types of things could help. Charge up your stuff. Charge up your batteries. Get prepared. Remember, if you're running a generator, not anywhere near the house. Do not run it in the garage. Run it away from the house, because obviously things can be pretty dangerous if you get those fumes in the house. It can be pretty fatal. So keep the generators away from the house. Definitely charge your devices. Now is the time. Charge everything up. Charge your iPad up. Charge your phones. Charge whatever you've got to charge. Charge it. Except for your visas. Don't charge those, because you probably already have. It's the holiday season. It's the holiday season. The do. Oh, Max says I've got a Generac generator. I always see those commercials. I desperately want one of those. That'd be sweet. Although I think we're on the hospital grid here, so every time there's, like when Barrie had a horrible ice storm, like all of Barrie is out and somehow like my neighborhood was still on. Our lines are buried, so that helps a lot, I'm sure. But I think we're on the hospital grid, so every time the power goes down, it comes up pretty quick. So for live streaming though, I've got one of those like APC, those big, I think it's a 1400 watt like battery backup. So even if the power goes out here, like it did during the live stream of the Barrie tornado in 2021, all the power went out, but my whole live streaming rig stayed on. So I've got that, so we can stay up. My internet is plugged into it, everything, so we can stay live. Amanda says, "Do you have any winter songs to sing?" I just did. It's the holiday season. Anyways, yeah, I'll work on that. I'll definitely work on getting some festive songs to sing. But for now, I'm going to shut down the stream. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Please stay safe. We will talk to you all very soon. If you do not have to drive, please don't drive. Please don't. Let's keep the roads as open as possible for emergency responders, for first responders, people that actually absolutely have to be out on the road. Let's keep it wide open for them. The less on the road we are, the better chance they have of staying safe. So let's go back to the radar one last time on Instant Weather Pro. If you do want to look at this high-resolution radar, which is called Instant Weather Pro, you can subscribe at instantweatherpro.com. And we appreciate all those who subscribed, especially to the Black Friday sale at instantweatherpro.com. So I don't know if I've changed that price yet, by the way. I might have. It may be changed, but maybe not. So if you want to sneak in there and still get that, I don't know if I've changed that sale yet. I think Alana's texting right now. She's like, I told you I told you to change it. I don't know if I changed it yet. So anyways, if you want to subscribe to Instant Weather Pro, you can do that at instantweatherpro.com. The most advanced radar software in Canada, in my biased opinion, because obviously we developed it, but the Northern Tornadoes Project out of Western University uses it to track storms and verify tornadoes and hail across Canada. AI songs, please don't. Anyways, okay, that's it for me. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you very soon. Please stay safe and make sure to turn your pajamas inside out to increase your chances of a snow day. We'll talk to you all very soon.